CCC family, it's Dawn Marie with Custom Comfy Crochet, and today we're going to do another video for our Halloween granny square spooktacular. And so this is a moon granny square, and it's got a little bat here in the middle, and then it's got some little stars and of course our edging for the granny square. So I'm going to show you how to do all this. Really easy to follow, simple stuff, lots of fun. Okay, so let's get into the materials. But first I want to ask you to please hit that subscribe button below if you haven't already, and so you can get notified of my future videos. And please like and share. Sharing helps more than anything, and I really appreciate it, guys. Your support means so much. I like to tell you exactly what I'm using for what I'm making, but of course you can change this up if you want. I always say in all my videos, and if you watch them, you hear this a lot. If you go up in hook size, your project's going to be bigger, and if you go down, it's going to be smaller, okay? So for the actual granny square here, I'm using a 4.25 millimeter hook. I am using some smaller weight yarn for this. I'm using a 3 yarn for this, not a weight 4, but you could definitely use a weight 4, okay? For the bat, I'm also using a smaller hook, so you're gonna need 2 hooks if you wanna make it just like mine, and this is a 2.75 or an E, okay? And I'm using this orange. Again, this is a very small yarn for the bat. Now, if you only have weight 4 yarn or you don't have smaller yarns, you can still make this. What I would suggest doing, because I think, you know, you want a smaller bat, but if you want to make it bigger, you can. If you use weight 4 yarn and a bigger hook, it's going to be a bigger bat. But if you want it to look exactly like mine, what you can do is you can take your weight 4 or weight 3 yarn and you can just pull out the yarn. So let's say, for instance, you know, what you would do is you would take your yarn that you're using for your bat, whatever color, and then you would take a piece or 2 off. I would suggest 2, and then you would just pull down like that and pull the rest of the yarn down. You don't need too much yarn to make this, but that way you can make it a lot smaller, okay? In case you don't have the weight yarn that you need, you can just make it out of what you've got. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. Okay, so you're going to start with your black yarn for this moon, and then we're going to work into the white, and then we'll go around and I'll show you how to turn it into this perfect granny square. Starting off with our black, you're going to make a slip knot. You're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And into the 4th chain from the hook, so the very first chain, you're going to start working in some double crochets, okay? So this counts as your first double crochet. This chain of 4 actually counts as a double crochet. So we're going to count that as 1. So right into this 4th chain from the hook, we're going to put 11 double crochets working in this stitch right here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, all worked into that stitch. We're basically using it as like a magic circle, just an easier way. And then you're just going to pull tight right into that top of that chain of 3 that we made in the beginning. We're going to put a 1/2 double crochet, okay? So right through both of those V's, and I know it's odd to do this instead of you know, slip stitching. But right into the top of that chain of 3, you're going to put a 1/2 double crochet. And then you're going to mark that with a stitch marker. So I've just got a piece of yarn here to use as my stitch marker. So right there, you're just going to put in your stitch marker, just so we know where that 1/2 double crochet was that we put right there in the beginning, okay? And then we're going to change into our white now. So I'm just going to pull this right into the loop that I have on my hook. I'm going to pull that right in. And then what I like to do is just tie in the back just to make sure that it stays secure. So I use my black yarn here that I was working with, and I just tie it off there in the back, okay? Just to keep it nice and secure. Then you can cut off your black, and we'll bring that back in just a minute. And then you can work over that as we go along, okay? So we're gonna go into our very next stitch. So right there, try to pay close attention to where your next stitch is. We're gonna go right into our next stitch, and we're going to put 1/2 double crochet. Just like this, 1/2 double crochet. Then you're gonna go into your next stitch, and you're going to put 2 double crochets. Then you're going to go into your next stitch, and you're going to put 1 double crochet and 2 treble crochet. So go into your next stitch and put 1 double crochet and then 2 treble crochets. In case you don't know how to do a treble, because it's not necessarily a common stitch that everyone uses, you will wrap around your hook twice, go into the same stitch, pull up, go through 2, go through 2, and go through 2. And again, yarn over your hook twice, go through your stitch, pull up, you have 4 loops, go through 2, go through 2, and go through 2, okay? So that's how you do a treble. And then into your next stitch, you're going to put 3 of those trebles all in the same stitch. So again, work around your hook, go through 2, go through 2, go through 2, and again, and one more time. Okay, just like that. Then you're going to go into your next stitch, and you're going to make 2 trebles and 1 double crochet. So again, 2 trebles into your next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 double crochet. Then in the next stitch, you're going to put 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and in your next stitch, you're going to put 1/2 double crochet, and in that same stitch, you're going to put 1 single crochet, and then into your very next stitch, you're going to slip stitch. Just like that. And now you've made your moon. So what I want you to do now, and we've kept this stitch marker in, we need that because we're going to work into there. Now you can cut off with your white. So right here where I have this stitch marker, I'm going to start bringing in my black yarn back again. I want to start right there, okay? And I'm going to bring in my yarn, and I'm going to chain 1 to hold it into place. Okay, and I can take that stitch marker out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. I don't count my bring in as a stitch, but you can if you want. So I chained 3. I'm going to go right back into that same spot, and I'm going to put another double crochet. Then I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to go right back into the same spot and put 2 double crochets. So basically I've created a corner. I've got 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets because the chain of 3 counted as a double crochet, okay? And so now you can see we've got this little stitch right here, right there, and where it looks like a stitch. We're not going to work into that. You're going to go right into the white, and you're going to do 4 double crochets across. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then in your next stitch, you're going to make a corner again. So you're going to go into your next stitch and you're going to put 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. Then you're going to do 4 double crochets across. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then in your next stitch, you're going to put another corner. So you're going to put 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. Okay, then you're going to do 4 double crochets across again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to make another corner again. So go into your next stitch and put 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. Then you're going to go into your next stitch and you're going to put a double crochet. Then you're going to skip this slip stitch that we made right there in the white, and you're going to go over to your next stitch because we've got 1 there, and you're going to put 1 double crochet, so that's 2. Then you're going to go into your next stitch and put a double crochet, that's 3, and then go into your next stitch and put a double crochet, and that's 4. And then you're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of your chain of 3. So there are a few stitches that you're missing there. I hope that made sense to you. And that's just because we had some slip stitches and some things that we did for our moon, but we want our granny square to be nice and straight, okay? So we need our corners and we need all of our stuff really good. So now from here on out, you're just gonna be working like you would a normal granny square. So right where you just ended, you're going to chain 3. You're going to go into your next stitch and put a double crochet. Now you're back at a corner. You're going to put 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. And then you're going to work double crochets all the way across. So you'll go into your first stitch, put a double crochet, and just keep double crocheting to your next corner. So in every available stitch, put a double crochet. And you just keep repeating that all the way around. Very simple, easy granny square, okay? So for as big as I made this, I used the same size hook and everything, and I did, we had our moon square right here, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4 rows past the moon that we did. So you go ahead and complete that, and I'm going to do maybe a row or 2. I'm not going to do it as big as this one for the sake of the video, but I'm just going to do a little bit and then come back and I'm going to show you how to do all this other stuff, okay? And just so you know, this granny square is with the 4.25 hook, it is a 6" by 6" granny square, okay? So I'll see you back in just a minute. Okay, so I just finished a couple rows of this granny square, but you should have a much bigger granny square by now. What I'm gonna do is I wanna show you how to make these stars, and these stars are made with a French knot. You might or might not be familiar with that, but either way, I'm gonna show you how to do it. It's really easy, okay? And another thing, you don't have to do this exactly the way I'm doing it. I like the way these little French knots make like a little circle instead of just like a little line, but you could totally just go around and put, you know, little dots with the yarn. You don't have to do this way, okay? So I'll just show you both ways. You're gonna go through for the French knot. You're gonna pull your white yarn that's on your darning needle now. You're gonna leave some hanging in the back like that because you're gonna have to work it in. And then you're going to take your darning needle You're going to lay it flat against the yarn like this. You're going to wrap the yarn around your needle twice, and then you're going to go through close to the same spot, okay? And then you're going to pull through, just like that. And it makes a cute little circle. Now, another thing I did with this one is I wanted these to even be a little bit smaller. So I just used a piece of this yarn. I just took a piece out and did it like that. But again, that's totally up to you. And so then what I'll do is I'll go through the back, working through the back loops only, so you can't see through to the front. And I go over to where I want to do my next little star. So I'll go all the way over like that. And then I'll come over here and I'll do another French knot. So again, I'll pull my yarn through. I will lay my darning needle flat like this, go around twice, and then go slightly above that, slightly above where I came in, and then pull through, just like this, okay? And it makes that cute little circle. And if any of them try to go back, like that one just did, you can take your darning needle and just very easily pull on it to bring it back to the surface, okay? So that's how you do those little stars all around. And then the back ends up looking, because you've carried this around, looks kind of like a little constellation as I've moved around my granny square. So that's another thing, if you're worried about the way that your back looks, if you're not going to put a backing on a blanket or anything, then, you know, you might not want to do that, or you might want to change it up a little bit. That's totally up to you. Okay. So now what I want to do is I'm going to show you how to make this cute little bat and how to place it onto your granny square. Okay. Make a magic circle. Okay. And into this magic circle, I'm going to put 6 single crochets. I'll pull that down. I'm going to pull it pretty small so that I can get this little hook in here. So 6 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you're going to pull tight. You're going to slip stitch into the first chain here, or stitch that you did rather. Okay. And so we've got this little circle here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2. And then you're going to slip stitch into the next, the chain going down. You're going to slip stitch into that. Then you're going to slip stitch into your next stitch. Slip stitch into the next one. Then you're going to chain 2 again. Slip stitch into the second chain. These are going to be our ears. And then you're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. Okay, just like that. And that's what it looks like. And then you're going to chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Then you're going to go into the second chain from the hook, and you're going to make a slip stitch, and then into the next chain make a slip stitch, and into the next make a slip stitch. So you've made 3 slip stitches. Then you're going to chain 2. You're going to slip stitch into the second chain from the hook like that, and then you're going to go into your next stitch and you're going to place a slip stitch. Then you're going to make a slip stitch in your next stitch, a slip stitch in the next stitch, and then you're going to chain 2, and you're going to slip stitch into your next stitch, or the second chain from the hook, I mean. Then you're going to go into your next stitch and place a slip stitch, and then into your next stitch and place a slip stitch, and that would have been your last stitch. Then you're going to go into the actual circle here. You're going to place a slip stitch into your next stitch, and you're going to slip stitch all the way around until the chain right before, or the stitch right before the ear. So we're slip stitching, that's 3, and then right into the next one you're going to slip stitch again. You're going to turn your work, and you're going to chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Then you're going to slip stitch into your next stitch, and again into the next, and again into the next. So that's 3. Then you're going to chain 2, and the second chain from the hook, you're going to place a slip stitch. You're going to go into your next stitch and place a slip stitch, into the next and place a slip stitch, and then you're going to chain 2. Then you're going to slip stitch into the second chain from the hook, and then you're going to slip stitch again, 1, and into the next slip stitch, 2, and into the next, 3. Okay, then you're going to go right into your next available stitch. You're going to be working from the back of your work now, and you're going to make a slip stitch. Try to go through both loops if at all possible. So you're going to slip stitch once, and then go into the next stitch, slip stitch again, and then into your next stitch and make a slip stitch. Okay, and now you're all done with your bat. You're going to cut off, leaving a piece to sew in your ends into your work. And now you can pull off with a chain, and there you've got your cute little bat, just like that. And now I'm going to show you how to sew this on. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your darning needle, and what I'm going to do is just sew this on and then tie in the back. You can work them in if you want to, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of these, because you've got two. You've got the one we just tied in, and then you've got the one from the middle. So you're just going to place this exactly where you want it on your moon. I'm going to place mine right here. Okay, just like right about there. And then I'm going to go right through my project here at the end, and then right out the other side, just like that. And then I'm going to place this through as well. So I'm going to put this onto my darning needle, and I'm going to go right out the back. Okay, just like that. And then what you can do is you take these pieces here in the back, and you start coming up and sewing down your ends so these don't come up. So for instance, I'm going to turn this over and show you real quick. I'm going to put this back onto my darning needle, flip this back over. I'm going to have this situated exactly how I like it, and then I'm going to take this orange and I'm going to go right through the middle here and start putting a stitch down to hold this into place exactly where I want it to be. Okay, just like that. And then I might do one more. And if you need to use stick pins, you can to get this to stay put, but that's how you do it, like that. And then you would use the other piece for the other side to hold it on. Okay, so just sew wherever you need to keep it down, and then I just tie it off in the back, but you can work it in as well. You can work it in through the back loops only, otherwise you'll be able to see it through the front. So now we're going to work on this edging that goes around the granny square, and this is really easy. So what you're going to do is just come over here to a corner, bring in your accent color, whichever color you're using, bring in with a chain, and then you're going to do a chain 1, which counts as a single crochet, go back into the corner, pull up, do another single crochet, so that's 2. Then you're going to chain 2 and put 2 single crochets, and then you're just going to put a single crochet in each stitch all the way around. And then when you got to your next corner, you would do 2 single crochets, chain 2, and 2 single crochets. And I think it's really cool to have the color that you're making of your bat to be the accent for your granny square for the edging, okay? But that's totally up to you. You don't have to do that. But that's just what you do, and you go around, like I said, 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets in each corner, and then just keep doing the single crochets all the way around, okay? And then you'll have a beautiful moon granny square with a cute little bat, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you need any help or anything, don't hesitate to ask. You can comment below in my YouTube section, and of course I can help you there. If you're not comfortable with that, then you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and I have a Gmail. So I'll see you again for another spooky video soon. Happy crocheting. Bye-bye.